you guys, so I know I haven't made a video in a couple weeks now. What was I last? I think I made my 38-week video, or yeah, 38-week video. Never got the chance to make my 39-week video because I had my little guy on December 3rd. He is 2 weeks today. He was born 8 pounds 6 ounces. What am I thinking? 8 pounds 6 ounces, and he was 21 inches long, and he was 1 week early. So if he would have stayed inside me, he would have probably gotten to like 9 pounds something ounces, and who knows, I probably wouldn't have been able to deliver him. So let me take you back to the morning of December 3rd. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, and I was laying in bed. I think I got maybe 2 hours of sleep. And what happens before I go into labor is I can't sleep. Through my whole pregnancy, I can sleep really well, but my body, and I know when the baby is going to come, and my body just won't relax. So I got about 2 hours of sleep, woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, had a little bit of consistent contractions, about 10 minutes apart. So I got up and I laid in bed for about an hour, just feeling my contractions and timing them. I have this thing called the contraction timer on my cell phone. I actually just deleted it a couple days ago. But that was awesome. I recommend contraction timers if you have a smartphone. They help a lot. So I was laying in bed and I would time them, and they were about 9 to 10 minutes apart. Got up, it was about 6:30, came downstairs and sat at the computer, and they were about 5 minutes apart. Around 8:30, I started walking around. I called my sister. I told her what was going on. She just said, keep timing them. Go lay down, relax, go lay on your left side, maybe they'll go away. So I start walking around, and they're about 3 minutes apart at about 8:30. So I call my mom, and while I was talking to her, I talked to, she has a secretary, and then it goes to her. So I was talking to the secretary. That was about 30 seconds, and then I talked to my mom, and between the time I talked to her and the receptionist, I had a contraction every 2 minutes, and she noticed that. So she just said to keep her updated, so I hung up on her, and I just started walking around again. They were about 3 to 4 minutes apart. So I went upstairs and laid down, and I called my doctor. It was about maybe 9:50, and I called my doctor and I talked to the nurse, and she just said, okay, go to labor and delivery and just have them check you. So I get up, I walk downstairs, I call my dad. My dad was in Chicago, so he was having to drive back to watch my daughter. So I called my mom, and I told my mom to come to watch her while we waited for my dad to get here. So my husband was sleeping on the couch, and I sit on the edge of the couch, and I wake him up. I go, okay, it's time to go to the hospital. And he starts freaking out. Did your water break? What's going on? So I just go, I'm hungry. Go get me Taco Bell, and then we can go to the hospital. So he gets up, about 10 minutes, he leaves, and I'm sitting on the computer updating my Facebook, and all of a sudden I feel like a gush not really a gush, it was just kind of a, how do I explain it? It just felt like you were getting like a strong period, I guess. It was just the feeling of wetness, and so I get up and I go to the bathroom, and there's a little bit of blood, and then I sit there for a little bit and I just keep feeling like trickling into the toilet, and I know I'm not peeing. So my husband comes in the door, I call his mom, I tell his mom that it's time. So my husband walks in the door about 5-10 minutes later, and I go, my water broke. So he drops the Taco Bell. My mom comes about 5 minutes later. I run outside, I scream to her my water broke, and then that was at about 11:30. So I run on Facebook and I update my status, of course, and they're like staring at me like I'm crazy. So I get to the car, and the hospital's like maybe 5 minutes away. So we're at the stoplight to the hospital, and all of a sudden I just feel like gushes of fluid just come out of me, and it would not stop. And I couldn't find a pad before we left. I asked my husband to find the pads. He has no idea what pads look like. So he couldn't find them. I didn't have time to look for them, so my pants were soaked. So we get to the hospital, I grab my jacket, I wrap the jacket around me because I didn't want people seeing my wet butt. And then we get to the hospital, they sit me in the wheelchair and they bring me up to the labor and delivery, and I tell them my water broke. They're like, yep, your water did break. So that was about 1 o'clock. So I start getting contractions. They get a little bit stronger. Wasn't put on Pitocin or anything, just all natural. Water keeps gushing out. I get to the point where I need some pain relief. That was around 3 o'clock. So I get my IV and they put the pain stuff in. For some odd reason, my hospital would not let you walk around the building, which was absolutely ridiculous. And it's a brand new hospital, and they wouldn't let you walk around. And I was really ticked off about that. But my water broke, and I didn't want it getting everywhere, so I just laid in bed. So, get the pain stuff, try to fall asleep, can't fall asleep. Around 6 o'clock, no, 5 o'clock, 5:30, I asked for my epidural. Contractions were about 3 to 4 minutes apart. They checked me, I was a 4. So I go, okay, I'll have the epidural. Waited an hour for the epidural. They come in, they give it to me. He messes up the first time. Thank God he didn't hit my spine this time, because I would have had a spinal headache. So they give it to me. He finds blood, and you're not supposed to find blood when you're doing an epidural, so he takes it out and he does it again. And I'm just laying there screaming in pain because it hurts so bad, just my contractions. And he gets done with the epidural, and before it has time to even kick in, the nurse checks me and I'm at a 10. So I went from 4 to 10 in an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm screaming, cussing, doing whatever I can. My husband said I looked like the Exorcist because I was rolling all over the bed. I was almost falling off the bed. One nurse had to be on one side, husband had to be on the other side. They were holding me on the bed because it was so painful. All my contractions were in my right hip/thigh. So, what was it? That was around 7 o'clock. So 15-20 minutes later, the doctor walks in. I'm screaming. They turn me over. I start pushing. I held my own legs pushing. I pushed for 40 minutes, and then he came out. And they he was I guess he was really pink and he was a good color, so my doctor didn't rush anything. And at the end, she made me breathe 4 times and push a little, 4 times, push a little, 4 times, push a little, and then he came out. And I didn't tear at all. It was awesome. And I wasn't that swollen either. So, yeah, he was born at 7:58 p.m. on December 3rd. He weighed 8 pounds 6 ounces, and he was 21 inches long. He has really big feet and really big hands, so I think he's going to be a big boy because I'm 5'7" and my husband is 6'3", so he's probably going to be really tall. So there were some complications. I started to feel some pain in my legs, and this was the 2nd day in the hospital. Started to feel some pain in my legs, and every single time the nurse would walk in, they would grab my legs, and they would, or my foot, and they would, here's my foot, and they would go like this. They would bend it back. And I asked them, what are you looking for? And they go, we're looking for blood clots. So I go, okay, let me try this again. Let me do it, let me concentrate, and let me see if I feel anything. And so I did it again, and I felt this little sharp twinge in my right calf. So I tell them, and they go, okay, we'll just watch it. It's probably nothing. So I get up and I walk, and I sit down. I was plugging in my camera, and I sit down, and I felt this sharp pain in my leg again. So my husband went out to the nurses and told them, and they come back in and they check me again. They go, okay, we'll just call the doctor and see if she wants to do a Doppler on your leg. And they really didn't even want to do anything. It was the doctor that made him do it. So they did a thing on my leg, and they found blood clots. So I've been on Coumadin since December 6th, and I've been on Lovenox shots since December 6th. So it is exhausting, and the shots hurt like crazy, and my leg is in a lot of pain, and just sitting here in this chair hurts really bad. And I have to get blood tests about every 3 to 4 days, but thank God it only takes like 5 minutes. It's right down the street, so I just get up, I go get my blood, and then and that's about it. Stayed in the hospital 1 more day because they wanted to monitor me and do blood tests just to see if blood clots run in my family, and they didn't find anything. So not really sure what happened, but I have them, and there's nothing you can do about it. So been treating it. Scary thing is because I found it, nurses and doctors would have never found it, and I would have came home with a blood clot, and who knows what would have happened from there. But thank God I found it, and we're all happy and healthy, and bud. And the little guy has hiccups, so I will show you guys the little guy. He has hiccups, so he's kind of upset. But, oops, here he is. He looks just like his daddy. Here he is. He's got little hiccups.
I want to click it. I want to click it.
You can click it soon. So I will update you guys. I'll do a 1-month update later on.
Click it.
He is nursing. He's doing a fabulous job with nursing. He's been nursing since the almost first day he was born. You can click it soon. I will tell you when. McKenna is doing a pretty good job. She's very pouty lately. She's acting like a little baby sometimes. Everybody, I know. He pretty much has red hair, if you can tell. His dad has red hair. So he's my little redhead. And, yeah, nursing really well. I was completely against co-sleeping when I had McKenna because I formula fed her and I didn't feel like I needed to co-sleep. I felt like I'd roll over on her. And that is the only way this little guy will sleep. I put him to bed at 12 o'clock last night, fed him. He woke up at 12:30, fed him again, woke up at 1:30, fed him again, woke up at 2:30, fed him again. And then I gave up, and I laid him down next to me, and he slept for 7 hours. So, I guess we're gonna co-sleep until this phase ends because that's how I get my sleep. And I don't roll or anything. I think my body just knows, but it's still scary to me sometimes. It scares my husband, but he sleeps so good, so we're gonna do it as long as we can, but not too much longer, I hope. So yeah, he nurses good, he sleeps good. I have a lot more energy than I had with McKenna. I think it's because I was formula feeding her, and I always had to get up in the middle of the night and make a bottle and everything. And nursing, I just feel, is so much easier. You lay in your bed, he wakes up, you grab him. I put him in his bassinet, you grab him, you feed him. You okay? No getting up, out of bed, completely exhausted to make a bottle, to heat the bottle, to run back upstairs and give him the bottle. So I'm very lucky and blessed that he caught on to nursing and learned it so fast. He is 7 pounds 14 ounces as of last Wednesday. Hi, baby. Or last Thursday, I mean. And we go for our next doctor appointment, I think, this Thursday at about 2, I think. So I'll update you guys when he is a month old, or maybe I'll update the 2 week, I don't know, it just depends. But yeah, we haven't started cloth diapering yet. He's a little too tiny, I feel like. I didn't buy any newborn diapers because it was just expensive. The only ones I bought were the little Joeys, and I'm actually going to sell those. So if anybody's interested in a orange and yellow little Joey, just message me and we can talk about price and everything. So thanks you guys for watching, and I will see you guys soon.